I'm here at the overseas call centre of a large insurance company. With me is customer service team leader Mr. Volty. Mr. Volty, how easy is it to provide great insurance service to your customers?
Well, we're on another continent. You can never get through. We've no idea who you are, and we're only allowed to work from a script with the information on the screen in front of us. Frankly, you'd be better with High House.
High House Insurance, your local experts. High House Insurance don't pay to be on comparison websites, so your premiums are better value. For a free, no-obligation quote, call Selsey 606 552. High House, local, reliable insurance. High Street, Selsey.
Hello? Anybody there? Hello? Hello? Hi, and welcome once again to Selsey Internet Radio. This is Keith Barnes, and the first item on our agenda this week is What's On, and that's our weekly look at what's going on in and around the village over the coming week for your education and entertainment. And we kick off on Tuesday the 13th with ladies netball, and that's at the Academy from 7 till 8 p.m. And if you'd like more information on that, you can call Penny on 07762 922 405. That's Penny on 07762 922 405, and you get all the details about leaping up and down and throwing a ball into a little hoop. Right, on Wednesday the 14th, now that's workout day at the Selsey Centre and starts from 9:15 in the morning. So if you fancy a bit of torture, get yourself down there and take part in the workout. Now on Thursday, if you fancy trying your hand at carpet bowls, well, get yourself down to Medbury School at 7:30 in the evening, and you can try it out. It's a great bit of fun, and it doesn't cost you anything to try it. All the equipment's provided, and you might just find you like it and you want to become a member and play forever and ever. It's a real good bit of fun. They're a good bunch down there, so get along and try your hand at carpet bowls. Good bit of fun. Now also on Thursday the 15th, Link, that's Ladies in Contact, will be holding their 23rd birthday meeting in St Peter's Church Hall, and that starts at 7:15 p.m. and it normally ends around 9 p.m. Now the Venture Bus is available to all members, and all ladies are most welcome to come along. That's a bit sexist, isn't it? Well, we'll be having birthday celebrations together with a silent auction. The cost for the evening is just £2, which does include refreshments, together with a free raffle ticket, and further details from either Mary Grantham on 604 718 or from Beryl Fletcher on 603 750. Right, on Saturday the 17th, well, it's that time of year again with Selsey Fireworks at Bun Leisure. And if you listen a little bit later in the programme, you'll hear me talking to Roland Robinson, and Roland will give us all the information we need about the fireworks at Bun Leisure on Saturday the 17th, and a little insight into it as well. And of course, don't forget there's line dancing down at the Viking Club, so you can go down there between 1 and 2. It's free, so you can go and get some line dancing lessons. And of course, they have line dancing on in the evenings and live music as well. So if you go in lunchtime and you like what you see, you can go back in the evening and have some more. Now also on Saturday the 17th, there's a concert by the HMS Collinwood Volunteer Band, and that's at St Peter's Church from 7 p.m. The tickets for this are £12 with refreshments during the interval, and can be ordered from Sally on 604 104. Now on Sunday the 18th, between 3 and 6 p.m, there's live music at the Seal. And the artist appearing this week is the brilliant Willie Austin. So if you'd like some good music and a couple of pints of really good beer, if that's what tickles your fancy, then get yourself down to the Seal Sunday afternoon between 3 and 6 p.m, and you can be assured of some very good entertainment. Now on Monday the 19th from 10:30 until 12 noon, a session of dementia awareness is being held at the library to give information on the support available locally for this illness, and that is for all sufferers and carers. So whether you're a sufferer or a carer, you can go along there and you can find out what help you can get locally for people suffering from dementia, and that must be worth its weight in gold, any help that you can get. So pop on down to the library Monday the 19th from 10:30 until noon. And that's about it for this week. And if you have any information yourselves about events that are going on and you'd like them mentioned on here, then please just let us know. You can do that by texting us on 07551 93019, or you can email us, and that's studio.selseyinternetradio@gmail.com, and send us the information and we'll make sure it goes on. Yes, that's us, the station that cares, Selsey Internet Radio. Now, as promised earlier, my guest in the studio today is Roland Robinson, and Roland's going to be telling us all the news about the Selsey Firework extravaganza that's going to be taking place on the 17th of October. Roland, good morning.
Good morning. Morning. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
Good.
Now, tell us a bit about Selsey Fireworks, because I've only lived down there about 9 years, and I always thought Selsey Fireworks was a firework manufacturing company, but of course it's not. That much I've learned already. It's actually Selstar that make the fireworks. So what does Selsey Fireworks do?
Selsey Fireworks puts on the event once a year for the community. That's down on the 17th of October this year. They really coordinate and get the sort of community together and bring it all into a big event on October, so that they can have a celebration, if you like, as a sort of Guy Fawkes night.
Now, how long Selsey Fireworks been going? Because I believe they've been going a good number of years.
Yeah, Selsey Fireworks really was known as Selsey Bonfire Association, and that was a long time ago. They started about 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's in recent years, in the last sort of 15 years, they've become Selsey Fireworks. Because the bonfire side of it was becoming a bit risky, and the fireworks side was what people really wanted to see.
Yes, yeah. The bonfires used to be a big thing a few years ago.
They certainly did.
Lots of communities have them. I know I lived in Windsor, and we had a huge one right in the centre of Windsor.
Yeah.
It used to destroy the car park.
That's right.
Quite regularly.
Yeah. Well, it's our old friend Health and Safety that really puts that down to,
yes,
to task.
Yes. Well, we won't go into health and safety, but it's ruined many things. Anyway, now you're part of the committee.
We certainly are. Yeah.
And you meet.
We meet once a month. There's 9 of us on the committee at this precise moment in time, and we've all got our own little jobs to do. We meet once a month, and we've all got sort of certain sort of areas. I look after the health and safety. We've got other people that look after the fundraising. We've got people that look after the fireworks, the signage, and that sort of thing.
Now, you mentioned fundraising there. I mean, it must cost an awful lot, because we know what, if we walk into a shop that sells fireworks and you see a huge firework there that's 25 quid and for one single firework, and I would guess that that's nowhere near the sort of standard that we're seeing going up in October.
You're quite right, yeah. The fireworks are expensive. We spend about £15,000, between £15,000 to £20,000 on fireworks for the event. So that's got to be paid for some way.
That's a lot of money for a very short period of time.
It is, yeah, and it's a 20.
It's spectacular. There's no doubting that at all.
It's a 20-minute display, and we've managed to keep the prices down right the way throughout for the last 5 years. And so, yeah, it takes a lot of nerve is needed.
Yeah, £750 a minute, or thereabouts. Yeah,
that's right, and it's a lot of heads.
Accounting for that, and of course it takes some raising to get.
Oh, that's right.
Now, yeah, I'm assuming that you go around cap in hand to various local
we
businesses.
Do. Yeah, we rely heavily on the goodwill of the small businesses in the village, and they support us a great deal with raffle prizes and help in one way or another. But we've also got main sponsors, which do sort of share a brunt of it, a large portion of it. Bun Leisure and their continual support throughout the year. And on the weekend with Labour and the Land down at White Horse Caravan Park where we have the event. That's a huge help to us, because we just haven't got the manpower to put up fences, to move stuff around, so they give us the vehicles.
That's right, because there's so much that has to be done now.
That's right.
With the health and safety. You can't just let the fireworks and shout at everybody, keep back.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Gone are those
be
days.
fenced off.
Yeah,
And,
that's it. I mean, Nature's Way. We store our equipment down there. They also handle the radio publicity for us with Wave 105. That's another area that, you know, the communities in the village, we all gather equipment. You know, not fireworks, but steaks, cooking utensils, bits and pieces that we need every year, and we have to store them somewhere. So we put them down Nature's Way, and that's where they store them for us. I mean, the other companies, Checker Trade, Southern Fabrication, Night Fencing, Arbus and High House, they're also valuable supporters of the event. And without all of their continued events, that's both large people, sort of businesses and small village businesses, we wouldn't take place. We wouldn't be able to get it off the ground.
Yes, at £750 a minute, I imagine you'd certainly need some help from some of the local businesses, and it's good that they do it. You know, a lot of the businesses in Selsey are tapped up regularly for donations for one charitable event or another, and they always seem to respond. It never fails to amaze me.
For such a small community, yes, you're right. You know, they do. They all buckle in and help out, and it's great. You know, it takes the planning. It takes the edge off the planning. We haven't got to struggle. We've got a little bit of cash that we can mill about because we have to pay for things like toilets. Some of the lighting rigs we have to pay for.
Yes, of course. People don't think about all these
that's
things.
Right. Yeah,
you know, they just appear magically,
that's
and
it.
They go away at the end of it. And now, of course, half clarified the issue. Selstar are the company that provide the fireworks.
Yeah, that's right. Selstar, they've been going for years, and Harry, who's a member of our committee, he works with them, and they do such a splendid job. Not only for us, but they also do it for the lifeboat. They do it for the fairgrounds during the carnival week, and they are a name brand now, a named company. And they've got quite a name in firework arena. They've been represented the UK in European firework competition. They've been placed in the top 3, and they've just returned from the British Firework Championships, which he was keeping very quiet about that, but I don't think he did as well as he thought he would. But they were well placed, and they've even displayed in China.
Really?
Yeah, where the fireworks come from.
I was going to say, if anybody knows about fireworks, it's going to be the Chinese.
That's right.
I don't know about the health and safety side.
No, I think the health and safety is a bit lax over there.
But I mean, Selstar do a remarkable. We've seen them. Obviously, we see it regularly in Selsey. Yeah. We're so lucky because they do put on a tremendous display.
They do.
You know? Yeah. And it really. I mean, it'd be interesting to know if that was his dream as a kid, to let off fireworks for a living.
I don't think he was a pyromaniac, but you never know. I think he just grew into it.
Yeah. Now, the event coming up is 17th of October.
That's correct, yeah.
And gates open for that at 5 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah. The fairground starts at 5, that's you quite right.
And what time do the fireworks actually start?
Well, the bonfire goes off at about 8:30 to 9 o'clock. And then the fireworks then take place after the bonfire's lit, so it's usually about 9ish.
And this draws a tremendous crowd, doesn't it? Because I believe there's between 5,000 and 6,000.
Yeah, somewhere about there.
Up,
that's right. Yeah,
every year, which is
it's staggering, really. It's got quite a sort of a name for itself. We have people travelling down from Norfolk, from Norwich up in Norfolk. We have people coming up from Plymouth. We even had one year we had a couple of come over from Canada. Well, they got to hear about it through their family, and they live in Canada. And when they came over, their trip was planned that they was going to come down to Selsey to see it, which was
not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's marvellous. Yeah, it's great.
Can't about that.
Yeah.
Now, tickets. I mean, tickets would be on sale. Where can people get their tickets from?
Well, tickets in Selsey, we've got Village Flowers, Reflex DVD, The Liquid Merchant, Amanda's Hobby Hideout, Bun Leisure Reception, and the Selsey Florist. And down at East Beach, we've got 5 a Day in Flowers. In Huntston, we have Kirkland's Newsagents. In Witterings, we have Candy's Confectioners. And in Chichester, we've got Good News Newsagents. And they all, they're all eager to sell you tickets now. And the tickets can be bought in advance. They're £5 for adults and £4 for children. Or you can get a family ticket, and they can be purchased for £16. That's 2 adults, 2 children. And Children are 5 to 16 years of age, which is quite high, really. A lot of places.
Yes,
it's 12.
Sometimes it's 12-year-old, isn't it? And can they be tickets be purchased on the night?
On the night, yes, they can. There's no adult, and there's no family tickets on the night, obviously. But adult tickets are £6, and children's tickets are £5. So it's a saving if you can purchase them now, and it helps us as well.
Yes, I'm sure it does. Now, is it a non-profit making event, or?
Yeah. Initially, it was set out just to give the community a focal point throughout the year. So we could all get together around the bonfire, and there wasn't that many people in Selsey. But it's got bigger and bigger, and we do make a small profit. Not much of a profit, but we do make a bit of a profit. And what happens with that is we then give it out to local good causes. They send in a request that they need some equipment, or they need some help, or they need finance in some way. And if we possibly can, we will then split out the money and any profit that's left over, and split it up and give it all away to...
I remember being part of Sakos and Sakos getting some money from Selsey Fireworks, quite a regular basis. So
yeah, it does help, and it's all money going back into the community, which is what it's all about.
Absolutely,
it's trying to raise the community spirit and get everybody up and helping each other.
But it's a fabulous night. I've been many times, and I would urge everybody to get yourselves along to the Funleisure White Horse
Field, yeah.
White Horse Field at Funleisure on Saturday the 17th of October. And you can get along there early, and the kids can tire themselves out on the fairground.
Yeah, we've got Coles Fairs down there. They put on some good rides. They support us every year, and they've got the fairground rides as well as the customary burgers and sweet stalls. They will be operational from 5 o'clock. So yeah, they'll be only too pleased to see you.
I'm sure they will. Yes. Now, normally it's a themed firework display, I believe.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you're right. This year it's seasons. Seasons. Yeah. We rack our brains on about January trying to think up a different theme every year, and it's getting more and more difficult. We might have to revisit some of the ones we've done before. But this year we've done seasons, and we've left it to Harry. And Harry, we understand, has made a splendid job, and he's never let us down yet.
Yeah, he's the kind of chap that seems to know what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he has to. He's been doing fireworks now for years. And, yeah, it's the timing that's all... And it's all controlled now with computers, which is...
Yes, yeah. There's no more do you see a guy running along with a
lighted tape
or a piece of smoking string.
That's right, yeah.
Risking life and limb to do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's brilliant. Thanks for coming in and giving us some info on that, Roland.
Okay.
And I'm sure the crowd will be as good this year as it has in previous years.
Well, let's hope so, because we desperately need them.
Yeah, let's have 7,000 or 8,000 down there this year instead of 5 or 6.
Would be nice to see them.
Let's hope we got the weather for it. Thanks once again. See you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
We've got a lovely, relaxing piece of music for you now. This is written by Chris Martin and Jeff Harvey, and it's called Dream of You. Well, if you're still awake after listening to that rather restful piece of music, we're going across to the kitchen now. I've got a couple of winterish recipes, something to keep us a bit warm during the coming few months. And our first recipe for this week is beef stefado. Now, I'm sure you're aware that stefado is a Greek dish, and it's a casserole with beef and onions, and it's a perfect winter comfort food. So you'll enjoy this, I'm sure. Now, what we need for this is 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoonful of olive oil divided. That means cut in 2. Although you try cutting olive oil, you might have your work cut out. 1 kilo of beef stew meat diced, 1 medium onion chopped, 2 cloves of garlic crushed up or minced, 100 ml of red wine. Well, make that 200, and then you can drink 100 while you're cooking it. And a 1/4 teaspoonful of ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoonful of ground nutmeg, 1 strip of fresh orange peel, 400 grams of passata, and 100 ml of water. And we need another tablespoonful of olive oil and 500 grams of pearl onions, and they need peeling. And the reason we're cooking this in 2 bits is because there's a lot of weight in the pan. There'll be over 2.5 kilos by the time it's finished. That'd be a lot of weight. So we're cooking it in 2 bits really. And this is what we do. We heat half the butter and half of the first tablespoonful of olive oil in a large pan over a medium-high heat. Brown half of the beef on all sides and place into a large saucepan, and repeat with the remaining butter, olive oil and beef. So you cook them 2 bits separately. Stir the onions and garlic into the oil remaining in the pan and reduce the heat to medium, and cook and stir until the onion has softened and turned translucent, which is about 5 minutes normally. Pour in the red wine, bring to a simmer, then scrape the onions into the saucepan with the beef. Now, season the beef with the cinnamon, nutmeg and orange peel, pour in the passata and water, cover and bring to the simmer over a medium-high heat, then reduce the heat to medium-low and continue simmering for an hour. At that point you stop and have a sip of your 100 ml of red wine. Right, then you go on. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, heat the remaining tablespoonful of olive oil in the frying pan over a medium heat, stir in the pearl onions and cook until they're well browned, stirring frequently, and that'll take about 20 minutes. Now, after the beef is simmered for an hour, add the pearl onions, recover and continue, that's recover the pan, not recover from drinking the wine, and continue simmering for 25 minutes. And remove the lid and simmer uncovered until the stew is reduced and slightly thickened, about 10 minutes probably. Remove the piece of orange peel because you don't want that in there, and that's ready for serving. And that'll be wonderful served with some nice fresh crusty bread. And that's the first recipe for this week. Now, what better for the cooler weather than a nice curry, and this is a very nice dal curry or lentil curry, suitable of course for vegetarians. And this is what we need. We need 200 grams of red lentils, 1 large onion diced, 1 tablespoonful of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of curry paste, 1 tablespoonful of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoonful of salt, 1 teaspoon of caster sugar, 1 clove of garlic crushed or minced, and 1 teaspoonful of root ginger, also crushed and minced, and 1 jar of passata. And this is what we do. Wash the lentils in the cold water until the water runs clear. Now this is very important or the lentils will lose their texture. And put the lentils in a pot with the water to cover and simmer with the lid on until the lentils are tender, and keep an eye on it in case all the water disappears, so you might need to top up the water if necessary. And while the lentils are cooking, in a large frying pan or saucepan, caramelise the onion in the vegetable oil. And while the onions are cooking, combine the curry paste, curry powder, turmeric, cumin, chili powder, salt, sugar, garlic and ginger. Put all that in a mixing bowl and give it a good mix up, mix it well up. And when the onions are cooked, add the curry mixture to the onions and cook over a high heat, stirring constantly for 1 to 2 minutes. Now stir in the passata and reduce the heat and allow the curry base to simmer until the lentils are ready. And when the lentils are ready and they're nice and tender, Drain them briefly. Now they should have absorbed most of the water, but you don't want the curry to be too wet. And mix the curry base into the lentils and serve immediately. And you can serve that with some chapatis or anything along those lines, or rice, basmati rice, whatever you like. And that's a rather simple, very tasty vegetarian curry, and ideal for the colder weather.
The Weather Report.
And the weather for the coming week looks like this, and it looks rather good. Monday at a high of 15 degrees, sunshine, and wind speeds of up to 13 miles an hour. Tuesday, sunny once again, high of 15, wind picking up a bit to 17 miles an hour. Wednesday, sunny once again, high of 15, winds dropping a little bit down to about 15 miles an hour. Thursday, there's a slight chance of rain, about 20% chance of rain, high of 13 degrees, and the wind in at about 14 miles an hour. Friday, pretty much the same thing, temperature getting up just a little bit to 15, 20% chance of rain, winds picking up to 17 miles an hour. And Saturday, well, there's only a 10% chance of rain, and temperatures dropping a bit to 14 degrees, and the wind also dropping down to about 14 miles an hour. So all in all, it looks like a pretty good week. And that's about it for this week. I'd just like to say thank you to my producer, John Fletcher. And this is Keith Barnes saying thank you for joining us, and join us again next week. Bye for now.